Coming down into my bat cave for this video. I had to walk through one of my rooms because I don't have any light bulbs and the light bulb's out in the room. I had to shut the door because my cat would follow me if I didn't do that. And trying to get down to the staircase, I whacked my head on a wall. Not really hard. I might have, my tooth might break out while I sleep, I suppose. I hit and I went. So you might see a vid with me with half a tooth or something, but the point is, it wasn't that bad, you know. It wasn't really that hard of a hit. But it hurt, and I'm gonna have a lump, and I know it, and it was nothing. People totally underestimate, you know, violence. You know, we're brainwashed and indoctrinated, really, by the Hollywood movies with those people having the fight scenes where they, you know, they're like karate kicks and all that crap. You get cracked across the face. I mean, you get cracked across the face once, you're down. And even if you're not down, you're out. If someone lands one on you, you just won't be able to function. When I just banged my head, you know, just like, you know, like this, you know, I was just like, and I saw stars. I couldn't, like, I lost my balance. I almost knocked my teeth out with my jaw. I mean, the things they don't tell kids in school. You know, all these things that are against the law. You know, what should be against the law? Nonsense. Nonsense should be against the law. And there's nonsense in every Hollywood movie. All those fight scenes. People taking hard hits to the face and then still fighting. It doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. If a fight's going on, the only reason it continues is because every punch is blocked, every kick is blocked. And the moment somebody lands one, really lands one, like a sword fight, you know, the one time you get stabbed, you die. It's the same thing with punching. This video is supposed to be about a follow-up to my last one. When I took my glasses off and I'm talking about shooting cops and all this stuff. One of my followers suggested that I take that video off because I'm being kind of direct about the concept of killing people. I think it's a good video. It's exactly what I wanted to say. You know, and it's a good point. You know, the Constitution of the United States is completely, apparently, irrelevant. Except for the amendments about income tax. But, and the rights to vote, I don't know. The ones about free speech and bearing arms and having a regulated militia, those are pretty obsolete. You would think that, say, like a city council of an area or a state, when they're voting about their regional laws regarding open carry, you would think that it would be impossible for them to vote something in play where, oh, you can't have an open carry gun, you can't walk around like Clint Eastwood in a Western in Washington, D.C. The idea that Washington, D.C. is a gun-banned area is a perfect example of the problem, of the hypocrisy of American reality. And this Kokesh march, you know, I gotten on a roll with this because I think it's just exemplary of not only of, you know, dealing with a provocateur. He's a Jewish agent for the government, and he's not in prison. He wasn't arrested. Alex Jones wasn't arrested. Go try to find a public record of those 2 times that Alex Jones was supposedly arrested with Geraldo Rivera and when he confronted George Bush back when he was a Texas governor. They're not there. They're not there. It was bullshit. It was bullshit. And I go to town, they're having fun saying that, you know, Alex Jones is Bill Hicks, and that they did plastic surgery on him and changed his whole personality so he could take his brilliance in a totally different direction. Is a crazy idea. But then you zoom in on the teeth. You catch, you know, there's all kinds of film of Bill Hicks, all kinds of film of Alex Jones, where they're making all kinds of faces and stuff like that, and they're smiling, and they go like that, and they show you their teeth. The same teeth. Exact same teeth. It's the same person. Whatever that means. They've resorted to having these provocateurs change personalities for purposes. But it makes a little bit of sense when you see the effect that Alex Jones has had on his followers, the whole group of people that would, you know, it's a target. It's target practice. It's like, you know, shooting deer. It's like the hunters, you know, they won't go out there and shoot, they won't go out there and shoot stray cats. They want to shoot, you know, bucks. You know, a buck deer. That's what they want with the antlers. So he's there to get the deer that might jack their antlers into somebody. Because there are people out there that want justice and they want to do something about the government. It's not that big of a population. It seems like it is, but it's not. Everybody else is pretty much docile and they just care about their lives and their kids or whatever's going on. So, you know, the Ted Nugents of the world. Maybe that's why I took off my Ted Nugent outfit. I kind of realized he represents, you know, just this group of people that talk a big talk but they don't do anything. My last video got cut off at my 14-minute mark because just, you know, I was going to town. What I wanted to say is that when the cops were beating those people down, they took Kokesh out with a lot of grace, but they really went crazy on his partner. You know, they took Batman away, and then Robin gets his ass raped because he had green underoos. But still, everybody's like this with their cell phone cameras, you know? Jeez. I mean, the opportunity they had to jump the cops. Those cops had their backs turned on the whole crowd. The crowd could have stopped them. They're not going to open fire on a crowd. I mean, really, I found this one video online about a soccer game, I think it was in France, where these cops were abusing a guy who jumped out on the field. And it was obvious, and they were hitting him with the clubs. The whole stadium just pounced on the cops, and the cops freaked. And one of the cops got their ass beat bad. That kind of thing needs to happen. You know, anyone that criticizes me in this video or my last one where I sound like I'm inciting violence, no, I'm inciting self-defense. I'm inciting self-defense. Want it again? I'm inciting self-defense. Even if even if it's not you that they're beating down, they're beating you up, and you just don't realize it. When you see that kind of horrible, unlawful reality of the overextension of, you know, authority on somebody that totally wipes out their rights, they're wiping out your rights too. So they're doing it to you, even though they're not doing it to you. And you got to do something about it. The time has come to do something about this. Gandhi got lucky. I mean, really. I mean, he got so many people to do the peaceful protest. You know, that doesn't happen in America. So unless you can, you know, get rolling with a real Gandhi persona, it's not going to work. And the result that you want is only going to be available if you fight for it. And this Adam Kokesh rally was a perfect opportunity to do that. The one guy gets up on stage, the black guy, he says, "Everyone lock arms." I didn't see anyone lock arms. They're like, and then they were smoking marijuana. They were high. I mean, the whole thing was a joke. It was just crazy. But when you see total oppression happen, and you know that you and the guy next to you and the girl next to you and everybody around you outnumbers the oppression that you're witnessing, you gotta move. You gotta do it. And until that happens, none of this is gonna change. None of it. It's not a matter of voting in the right person. It's a matter of showing brute force and making anybody who's in power, whether they're bribed or not, afraid of the consequences of them being unlawful against you. You have to. That's the only way it's going to work, is if they're afraid. The only way. How much time I got? The only way.